we have to realize how they are trying or worked on the ground in military confrontations in Palestine, in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Syria, in the same time. And that means that they are trying to protect their people through the confrontations and military confrontations, like we didn't also see peace, by the way. It reflects how they are not in safe, totally safe. Yes, they have the Iron Dome, and they have a lot of technology and the military equipment and the missiles. But at the same time, we have to realize that if we need peace, we have to think deeply, by all means, in all sides, to evaluate the power, how to protect people from this kind of mess, with protecting the land, and the identity, and at the same time the humanitarian security is very important in Palestine and everywhere. We are in need for a wise decisions and actions to build up peace. It's not easy under this kind of crazy world and this kind of chaos, but it needs a lot of efforts and wise and strategic thinking, wisely, without any kind of the culture of reaction. We have to be a doer and in action to build peace and to protect our people and everywhere, the nations, from kind of the mess and the military confrontations. We are in the 2025 year now, so we have to be more civilized. We have to find out that human rights are in the declarations of the United Nations, and everybody are looking for peace. We have to implement this on the ground.
Yes. Also, Dr. Osama, what shows the Israeli side is completely different in comparison to the Palestinian side is also the resignation of 3 ministers today from the government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, which shows that there are differences or conflicts between them.
Yes. In the Israeli cabinet, you can find out that a lot of diversity in it, and the more radicals and the more extremely right in the Israeli policy, they are against the ceasefire. They are against the peace agreement. So we have to know that we are dealing not only with one side in the Israeli cabinet or the decision making, but we find out that a lot of diversity. People are blaming them for these kind of wars. Others are looking for it is a kind of a must of military confrontations for the security of the rest of the Israeli citizens and their benefits. So there are a very big diversity there, and the more radicals, the more stubborn position in the Israeli cabinet and the Israeli decision maker now is having the upper hand. You have the upper hand in the decision making. Not like before in the Egyptian-Israeli peace declaration, there were a well of peace by the decision makers in Israel.
Yes, Dr. Osama, Egypt, of course, played a pivotal role in mediating also with Qatar and the United States. But for 1 year, Israel was not negotiating or agreeing to any a deal. So what happened? Finally, there was a deal.
Yes, but we have also to admit that both sides were stubborn. Even Hamas side was stubborn, and both sides weren't at ease to make this kind of ceasefire. There are a lot of steps and progress happened through all of the 1 year ago to reach this point now. So, and as I mentioned before, it's not easy to make peace without the real will of people themselves of the two sides.
Yes. Yes.
If you remember with me that even in 1979, and before the Camp David, the President Sadat, God bless him, when he invited Arafat and the Palestinians to attend with their flag in the Manor House conference for getting the rights in the negotiations with the Israeli side, they didn't attend it, and they called him like a traitor, and now they couldn't take anything from that opportunity during the Sadat era and the initiative. So we have to understand well from all sides. We have to evaluate the situation in a professional and decision maker way. It's not a matter of a teenage political trial. It's a matter of a nations need peace. The innocent people in Palestine, in Gaza and Rafah, all of these kind of victims. Why we have this mess? Give me a reason. Yes, to defend your rights, it's really true, and everyone appreciates it. But in the same time, we have to calculate each decision, how it will bring out for the sake of people themselves.
Yes.
The decision making must be wise.
Yes.
And really, we are really appreciating very well that the Egyptian role and the intelligence Egyptian role in this part, and the American support and the Qatar involvement, all of these efforts are really appreciated to reach the ceasefire today. And I hope to build up on it and don't lose the opportunities to have peace and find out a kind of resolution for this historical conflict.
Yes, yes. So, Dr. Osama, today when the truce, the ceasefire started at 8:30 Jerusalem local time, the Israeli side have reached in the first hours have reached the ceasefire, and there was air strikes that killed 8 Palestinians and injured 25 others. How did you follow this?
It's not new for the policy of the Israeli military side. And as I told you, they don't see peace. And what happened from their side, like while having all of these power, like the strongest power in the Middle East now, with the engagement of the United States, to find that what happened in 7th October meant a lot for them. So that's normal. What we need is to build peace. It's not a matter of blaming that this is wrong or yes, it's a big mistake to be done from our side to say this. But at the same time, we have to overcome what happened before and to look for the future. What happened, happened. We can't change it. A lot of mistakes from all sides, a lot of violence, the violence this time was more than any time before, all over the year. After the ceasefire, we have to understand well also that even with this point of ceasefire, it is a fragile point. It's a fragile agreement. So we have to take care for the sick people and to try to secure them as much as we can. Egypt is sending a lot of aids now there, and the hospitals are ready to receive the patients there. But the situation is very, very, very complicated and very difficult,
Yes.
and the mess is
Yes.
beyond any kind of
Yes.
expectation.
Yes.
We have to be positive, we have to be wise, we have to work for peace and to secure the humanitarian security for people, for lands, to rebuild Gaza and Rafah from all of the demolished aspects.
Yes. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Ahmed Osama, member of the Egyptian Council for Foreign Affairs. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.